in the world of large-scale 3D printing is the topic of our next presentation, the advanced manufacturing for large format 3D printing. I'm honored to have two 3D experts here with us now. Additive manufacturing is the topic. That's what their heart beats for. Please welcome, with a big hand of applause, Dr. Karsten Heuser and Gabriele Corletto.
Thank you, Mr. Thank you.
Hi, Gabriele.
Hi,
Great to meet you here.
Hello,
Hi,
Christine.
Karsten. Take a seat.
Yeah.
And actually, it's not just the three of us. We have another cool guy here. I learned it's Mahoy. So, Gabriele, you're the Business Development Manager at Breton.
Yes.
It sounds French when I say it, but it's Italian.
Yes.
Where exactly are you located?
We are in Italy, northeast. We are 40 minutes from Venice. So.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful area. Karsten, we know you from the Siemens stages all over the globe, but not only Siemens, you're at every forum when it's about additive manufacturing. You are the vice president for additive manufacturing at Siemens. You definitely know what you're talking about when you're at that places. Gabriele, you're the first time at the Siemens stage program as a speaker, but you're very familiar with our Siemens technology. And as we see, you brought a large-scale 3D printed guy here. When I saw in the script when it said you will bring a 3D printed part, I thought of like, okay, small thing, but this is massive. But you told me you even have a bigger version of that.
Yes, I bring that part that is marketing part just for show the capability of machine, but is for fun, let me say. It's big if you compare to what people think about 3D printing, but you have to consider that we print part up to 4, 6, 8 meter, up to 2 tons also. So it's, but it's easy because people can touch. There's a part they can understand that we are talking about large deposit of material, so it's a way to let people understand the technology, okay? In an easy way.
In that case, we're talking about manufacturing, but this is an art piece.
We are also
Really
involved
cool.
in design. There's print part for design. It's also a new way to use 3D printing, okay? And large additive allow to do this very easily.
So, we said you have a long history with Siemens, so to
Yes,
say.
yes.
Can you shed some light on this?
We know each other since a long time, and we have a collaboration because we are not client supplier. We can say that we collaborate in different business. You know, Breton and different business, stone department, machine tool, compound stone, machine tool, and now also additive manufacturing. That is a new business that Breton is investing money. And we always find a way to collaborate, not only talking about hardware and software solution, but also to share idea where the business is going in the future, talk at several levels, starting from the people that come to Breton to switch on the machine, up to talk with the management and decide where Breton and Siemens want to invest money, how to think about the future together. So we know really since a long time, and every time is a pleasure to be there.
That's great. So you rely on our Sinumerik One, but not just for milling. And since many years you're using additive manufacturing as a technology in your factories. Why Sinumerik One?
First of all, we decide to be one of the first company to trust in Sinumerik One. Or we remember where Siemens presents Sinumerik One. And we do a lot of job together, especially looking into the digital twin. And try to imagine that we start developing this technology during pandemic period. Mm-hmm. Everybody was at home, and we start discussing web call, Italy, other places of Italy, also in Canada with some people that help us to develop this technology. And we want to go to the market and test the solution as soon as possible. So, first of all, Sinumerik One is very flexible and allow us to make a lot of customization on our product. And second one, with digital twin, we were able to test the technology and test the new development that we have done before going on the field and assembly the machine. That is something that is really, really good when you are going to implement something that you never seen on other machine. Okay. Moreover, as I told, we present a complete suite because our system is called Genesis. It's not just a machine, but it's an ecosystem where we have software, hardware. We also collaborate with Siemens, with Unigraphics, for example. And we have our post-processing solution that interact with the machine. So there is a lot of custom-made things that we have done on the machine, and Siemens allow to do it easily, and again to test before start the machine.
So you mentioned a lot that it's a collaboration.
Yeah.
Now I'm looking at Karsten. How do we support here?
Yeah, at the end, it's to have great customers, the best you can have. Talking about Siemens, you need to bring material, machine, control, software, and then the user, the design of the part together. And this is something, I think our ambition as Siemens is to help the ecosystem to play nicely together. And then you have the applications in different kind of aerospace, automotive, or a lot of different kind of verticals. So we as Siemens take whatever we can pull in. You see many examples here from Sinumerik One, our hardware, as well Machinum, our digitalization portfolio. We have software, we have even financial solutions, so we have technology. And this is located as well around additive manufacturing hubs around the world. We bring in this knowledge to support customers like Gabriele as well on their journey to the technology, and then connect as well the industries, because you need to learn about the advantages, you need to learn what you can really achieve, what are the use cases, and then where to scale in which kind of area for this technology.
I mean, we're busy in every kind of field, I have to say. You're Mr. 3D, I have to say. You started with your running shoes, 3D printed. Then we had the 3D glasses. Now you bring me art pieces, but also large-scale formats we're having here at the booth. I mean, it's amazing.
Maybe next time a boat. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. The
I
sky's the limit.
I need to get some furniture for home, yeah?
Okay, so nice thoughts, great information. At EMO here, our motto is accelerate transformation for a sustainable tomorrow.
Yeah.
Does that also reflect like the strategy of Breton?
Yes, but for sure we are a company that take a lot of attention about sustainability of the business. Additive manufacturing and this type of additive manufacturing go very close to help customer and client to do this. Here we have an example for a 3D printed boat. It's not 3D printed boat, it's a mold for a boat.
Okay.
It's a collaboration with a company that's called Northern Light Group that produce boat that is possible to recycle. And they asked Breton to make also a mold for the boat that is possible to recycle. So a 360-degree recycle, not only the final product, but also the instrument that you use to make the product. For this purpose, we print a mold. It's a 4 meter, it's medium size, we can say. It's not demo high, it's not 10 meter, it's 4 meter mold that is done with material that is recycled. So for previously 3D printed part, we crush the material, we recycle the material, and we print again. So it's a way to reuse what you are doing. So 3D printing is very go close to everybody to recycle material and help to a better world, I can say.
So to understand it right, you use the material like this one, we could shred them?
Yes.
And reproduce them with the same material source?
So the Moai, theoretically tomorrow could be something different, okay?
Okay. A female version maybe.
Yeah.
Earrings in the necklace.
Not this one, okay.
Okay. Karsten, in regards of sustainability, you want to add in here for sure?
Yeah, I think we all talk about circularity and how to make circularity really impactful and tangible. And it's about, like you mentioned, it's about recycling of materials. Yeah. It's about reducing the amount of material. It's about repair. So instead of producing always new parts, you may repair the part as well tomorrow, which is possible. And then it's as well around refurbish and reusing this stuff. And all these topics of circularity, are enabled by an advanced manufacturing technology. That's why we bring this together in Siemens as a company core technology field. Additive is one horizontal key enabler, but very often you have milling, additive combined, and then this is helping. And it all starts with a very robust eco-design. So it starts from design. If you don't design it for recycling, you will not make it at the end. And the combination with the technology, with our portfolio, this is, I think, the key to really generate an impact as well with circularity.
I mean, we talked about sustainability in the machining business already in a session beforehand. We talked about that there is unlimited possibilities what we are 3D printing now. Where are we heading to?
I want to add something more. Try to imagine if you had to produce this part starting from a big block of material, how many time you waste, how many energy. That means a lot of consumption. So here you just use what you need. Maybe we need to mill later, but just a little bit. So we trust a lot in additive that be together with the traditional technology, they can make much, much better. Okay, so I think that is the same vision that Siemens have for the future. Okay.
I guess it was also, Karsten, yes,
if
please.
I may add as well, recycling is possible, and you can, I visited your booth yesterday, and this is probably the most advanced machine I've ever seen. You have everything under control. You're monitoring the process. You can adaptive generate your process. We here at the booth have something which is as well combining robotics with additive together. So molding industry, tooling industry, something which is immediately something you can do is displayed. So different kind of angles are possible, all on this recycling and circularity approach, always within.
You mentioned that you're having a booth as well at EMO. It's in Hall 13.
Yes, and there is the machine that is printing. So everybody is invited to see the printing at our booth. Okay, we are printing Moai and also bigger parts.
Okay, but maybe you should think about smaller parts as well as giveaways for your customers. How long does it take actually to print this size of?
This part is take 4 or 5 hours.
Okay.
Someone say that is a long time, but it's because Christian say we are going to control everything. So the machine automatically decide how fast I have to run in order to keep exactly the shape of the part. It's not easy. It's a marketing part, funny part, but you see there is no support. The part is empty. So for most of other machines, it's a nightmare. Okay. Instead, we control everything and we make possible to print without any defect.
So this is very advanced.
Yeah.
Now looking into the future, what are your plans? Like, where you mentioned, like maybe we go for a boat next time, which we exhibit.
Okay.
Where does this manufacturing with additive manufacturing go to?
For sure, we trust a lot in additive. The company is investing money, to evolve the technology, to evolve what we have already supplied to the customer, because we want to be closer to the customer. And we need to help the customer to understand how to use the technology, because one of the most important things is to explain the use of this technology. Sometimes it's the perfect technology, sometimes we have to say also, no, it's better to stay with your process, or you need to modify your process to use 3D part. Okay, so we know this, and it's not only to sell the machine, but also to give information and knowledge to the customer. And we are going for the future to be also present at Formnext. Mm-hmm. We know that also Siemens will be there, so every time we share info during the exhibition. And we have some news that is on the way, something new for Formnext, okay?
Okay, we're very curious. By the way, Formnext will take place in Frankfurt from the 7th until the 10th of November. So you might mark that in your calendars already.
Yeah.
Karsten, we will be there too. Do we have any great things which you have developed with your team, which we will present at Formnext?
Don't talk about all the details. There will be very exciting news, a lot around integrating factories, integrating, automating the whole shop floor. You need to plan these factories, and you can do the first step into the industrial metaverse to really try to do as much as possible in the digital world, and then combine it immersive with the machine to as well go into more first-time right printing or quality control like you do. And if you look at EMO, we have 1,850, I looked up, exhibitors here. It's already rise through the last years to 100 additive exhibitors. it was 20, 30 the years before. You see it's coming more and more in the field of advanced manufacturing, that additive is becoming an adult technology.
Yeah.
There will be 800 to 900 exhibitors in Formnext, so 8 to 10 times more than here, and a lot of news. So everybody who's coming to EMO, please take the time. Hall 13, Hall 9. Next by you see many action fields for advanced manufacturing, and book your ticket already for Frankfurt to see the news for the next years.
Okay, that's great news. Would you say that there are limitations at the moment where you say, okay, this is a nice idea, but additive, no way, this can't be done?
Oh, let me say the first limitation is when the company do not want to transform the way to make business. So there is a company that say, I want to make something at the same cost that I used to have for my part, but they have to consider not only the cost, but also the time to market it. We have a part at our booth that is a vacuum system for aerospace that is done all in one night. Usually customers need 2-3 months to have this part in their facility. So maybe could be expensive or not. Sometimes we save money, sometimes we are a little bit expensive producing the part, but the versatility, the time to market, the possibility to recycle the part is something that you've never seen with the traditional technology. First. Second, it's not a limitation because the technology is evolving very, very fast. It's only to wait that the company, the supplier, propose to the market and also to the machine constructor new material. Because there is already a lot of material with several purposes, okay? And but every day we see that people is proposing how to use another material that is recycled with different fiber reinforcement. So I think that we have only to wait. I'm sure that between 2 years we'll be there again, and the additive is for sure is the most impressive. Is booming. It's already booming. Trust me, it's already booming. We saw in the last year that is booming, absolutely.
And you mentioned that as well, Karsten, that there is many more companies exhibiting that they are focusing in that technology. What is the market? What's the end user who's using the machine saying, who need the pieces? Do they trust in the technology?
It's rising. It took the community a while to do the certification for aerospace, certified for automotive. This is really... Siemens Mobility has now certified the process for spare parts for trains. Now they have the parts in the aircraft, in the car, in the train. Now it can start to accelerate the growth. We see electronics coming up, mobile phones. We see pharmaceutical products, chemical plants using additive. It's in so many areas, and all these vertical industries needed to learn and educate and start their journey. But we see more and more maturity that this is really to take place in the next years.
Okay, great words. Really, thank you so much for these detailed insights. Great topics, great exhibit. I have a new colleague now, that's perfect. Thank you so much for being here, for taking the time, for informing our audience. And a big hand of applause from our audience to our two experts here.
Thank you.
All the best.
Thank you.
And hopefully see you again 2 years from now, the latest.
Goodbye.
At EMO again. Thank you. Bye-bye. I'll keep Ahoy with me. Okay.
It's for you.
And I'm handing over to Laura. She